also want to turn off.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Hey, Heather.
Hi, Heather. Hi, everyone. Audio settings.
We'll be using chat a lot tonight, so you guys can go ahead and ask questions, have comments, shoot me your emails if you are starting to panic about what this virtual reflections is going to look like this year. We are here to help walk you through and hold your hand through every step of the way. There's really nothing to be worried about. We've got you covered, and we're going to help.
Thank you to those who put your name and unit in the chat. If you guys can do that for those who just joined us, we get an idea of who's here, please. And just in case we have really newbies, a unit is just your PTA name. Oh, hello. Hi,
Yeah,
Barry.
we've got a lot of new people. I think we have something like 45 attendees tonight, so it's going to be awesome.
That's good. Got it.
Just going to wait a couple more minutes as people roll in. We have 45 signed up and we've got 21 online right now, so just wait a couple more minutes and then we'll get rolling. We should be in and out in an hour, I hope. Melissa's asking in the chat if she she has parents who are asking for the entries back from last year. Who did they contact? They should contact their council chair first, council reflections, or council president if there was no reflections chair at their council. And sometimes the president of their unit or school has the portfolios and just haven't gotten it back yet to the students simply because we're all distance learning. Okay, should we get started, Erin?
Yeah, if you, whenever you'd like to, Erin.
Erin and Erin. All right. Well, we've got 28, so let's get rolling. Got stuff to do. All righty. Here is reflections training. I'm Erin Dowsley. I am the 34th District PTA Reflections Chair. And with me tonight is Erin Hester, the 34th District PTA President. I'm going to do a section and she's going to do a section. And we will get you as much information as we can about tonight, about reflections tonight. And then anything else you need, you feel free to reach out to either one of us and we will help. So tonight's agenda is going to be welcome and introductions, which I just did, a little brief overview about what is reflections, what reflections at a unit looks like. A unit is your school. That's a PTA term for school. What virtual reflections will look like this year, how judging and galas will work, and any questions at the end. So Reflections is a national PTA program that encourages students to participate in the arts in a meaningful way. The theme is unique every year. This year it is I Matter Because. Students will begin their journey at the unit level, submitting artwork in 6 categories, and then they'll progress. If they get first place, they'll progress through the different levels, council, district, state, and national. In order to participate in Reflections, students have to be enrolled in a PTA or a PTSA school. There are 6 arts categories: literature, visual arts, dance, choreography.
Erin, real quick, can you hit the present button so it goes full screen so people can see it? Sorry, thank you.
That's okay. Dance choreography, video production, music competition, composition, and photography. And I will show you where to find the rules for each category a little bit later on. There are divisions. You have primary, which is pre-K through 2nd grade, intermediate, which is grades 3 through 5, middle school is grades 6 through 8, high school is 9 through 12, and then our special artist is all grades in one category. So special artist is any child that has a 504 or an IEP, or anyone that it feels like they have some kind of learning challenge. So you want this program at your school. So what do you do? First, you find a chairperson. You can, sometimes it's your art teacher. Sometimes it's a parent who's artistic. Sometimes it's somebody who just wants to be a part of PTA. And this is a really good kind of entry level position for them to be in. It's a chair position. It is not an elected position. So then you register your program. Now you only have to register your program if you have not had reflections at your school before. So most of you have had reflections before, so you don't need to worry about that. Next, you want to set your deadlines. Now deadlines are, you want your students to turn in their artwork so that you have enough time to get all the art to the judges and then up to council. Now council's deadline for turn-in is going to be November 19th. So you want to give yourself maybe 3 or 4 weeks to get your art turned in, get it to the judges, and then get it back up to council. Then you send out your virtual paperwork. Now this is going to be cool this year because it is all online. It is going to be a Google form that you send out to your families, and they just fill that out. They can submit all their information right there on the Google form, and then they can also submit their artwork. It will all be digital this year, so they will just attach the file to that entry form. That you're going to want to promote your program. There's going to be some kickoff ideas. You want to work with your teachers and maybe even have a family event all online. How is it easier this year? Well, it's going to be online, so it'll go to every student. Those entry forms that you hand out in your school are not going to sit in the bottom of somebody's backpack and no parent is ever going to see them. It's all just going to go to a parent email, and then it'll be easy. You're not going to be printing and printing and printing and printing entry forms and rules. You won't have to worry about the forest that you're killing or running out of ink or toner. And distance is no object. So I know there are some units, some schools that have a pretty wide range of students in that area, especially in the Antelope Valley. So this will be good for them. So you're not, with distance learning, not having to go to someone's house to pick up artwork. So what you want to do is you want to work with your PTA president, who's going to work with your principal to get the information in the school bulletin, into staff meetings, into their like Monday morning message or the Friday night phone calls that they do, going out to all the families in their school. You also can work with your child's teacher and other teachers to Zoom in with their permission to talk to their class about reflections. Ask for 5 minutes during class time, and you can probably hit all the classes, or at least hop into a teacher staff meeting and then ask them to share. Once the students turn in their virtual art, the virtual form collects all the info. They're going to collect the email addresses, the phone numbers. I know that at a council and a district level, we have a lot of trouble sometimes reading handwriting. We don't know if it's a 4 or a 9. We don't know, if those kinds of things have been really difficult for us. So you're going to have the contact information, the artist statement, and the submission of the art piece all right in one form. Then you're going to want to find judges. Now, finding judges this year is going to be interesting because you're not going to physically be handing off artwork to people. You will be collecting the artwork in this form, and then there's a way for you to share that folder of art. Say it's literature. You can share that literature folder with your judge virtually. You just collaborate with them, and they can then have access to it. It's really a great thing. Then you want to plan for your gala. Now, this year is going to be difficult because we're going to be distance learning, and we're not going to be able to have a little presentation at school. Although maybe after the first of the year, we might be able to, but honestly, who knows? So plan to acknowledge every student. Typically, we like to make sure that every student gets recognized, no matter how they placed in our program. So whether that's a ribbon or an award or a certificate, a trophy, a medal, you want to make sure that you are making sure that that child knows that they're special and that you are recognizing them. And you want to invite your families to a recognition ceremony. Now, you could make it a Zoom presentation. You can show their artwork. You can play their videos or their music composition, that sort of thing, and invite all the families to participate. Virtual entry forms are going to make it easier for students to enter, and we hope that we get more students entering this year. It's going to be, that form is accessible from any device, computer, tablet, or your cell. It's going to be easy, much easier than the paper form, and it's easy to upload an entry from any device. The parent and the student, if you choose to, will get a confirmation email, and then the student or parent may edit their submission until the final submission date. So if they decide that maybe they want to touch up their art piece a little bit more, they can go into their submission form and change and delete it out and then resubmit it, as long as it's before the submission date. Students, and we encourage students to enter in multiple categories or have multiple entries. Sometimes the student is really fantastic at photography. Maybe he'll do 2 or 3 entries. This is a much easier way for them to get that done. All information populates into a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet from this Google form. It's amazing. You have it all right in front of you, and you can manipulate that data so easily. And we will show you how to do that, or we can help you do that. Now, the judging, make sure that the judges have followed the rules. On the capta.org website, there is a section for reflections under the programs category. And in there is the student packet with all the rules. There are some rules for these art pieces. Sometimes it's sizing, sometimes it's the size of a file, a dance file or a music file. I know for the music pieces, if it's middle school or above, they have to have the tabulature with it, which is the notations, the music notations. Make sure that the judges follow the rubric that's in that packet. There's a special way that they need to judge these pieces, and so that will be critical for them to follow that guideline. And in the spreadsheet, it has a section for all that information, so they can just put in their final scores, It's really awesome. So judges will do grade level, each grade level category, they're judged in each of the different categories. Teachers can judge and community members can judge. Like the man next door to me is a photographer. He'll probably be my judge this year. I have a friend who's an artist who does a lot of stuff at the gallery in Newhall. I'm hopeful that she's going to be my visual art judge this year. But I also have an English teacher at a high school that will probably be my literature judge. So you can really network with your PTA board and see who they know, see who they think would be a good judge and would do this for us. Submitting to council, this is going to be different this year, and we're not exactly sure how this is going to go. All the first place entries from your school will come up to council. We will then rejudge everything because we have, 33 schools in Santa Clarita and another 30 or so in the Antelope Valley in 2 different separate councils. So each council will rejudge, and then it will go up to district, and then it will be rejudged yet again. So everything needs to be at council on November 19th, and that's for all 3 of our councils, Santa Clarita, Antelope Valley, and both Antelope Valley North and South. Submissions will be sent electronically. There will be no meeting up at Starbucks or anything like that this year. We want to make sure everyone is safe and everyone stays healthy. So it's all going to be electronic. Once you have your winners at your at council, or we'll go to unit first. Unit winners, we like to do first place, second place, and honorable mention. So first place is the award of excellence, second place is the award of merit, and then honorable mention. Now at the council level, not every submission will get awarded because they've gotten recognized at the school level. But then the council will invite students who have placed to come to a gala. But we hope that we will be able to have this happen in like the springtime next year, but we're not really sure at this point. We like to have the visual art and the photography and the literature submissions on display, and we like to run all of the music and dance and film in the background of that. So here's what happens with the winners. Council gets the submissions from every school, then we judge them. Then it goes to district in December. District then judges, and we select our winners that go up to state, and that happens in January. And then the state judges again, and they select their winners, and then those go up to national in February. And typically around May, national will announce those winners. So here is my contact information, and we're going to show you a little bit about the form now so that you can see what it looks like, how you can help your families if they need to, you need assistance doing it. So here, this is what the form is going to look like. It is in English and Spanish. So you don't need any 2 forms or anything. You have a section for the email addresses, their student name, their grade, their age, their classroom. Usually it's either a room number or a teacher's name. Your parent or guardian information, mailing address. And the student signature and the parent signature are going to be the electronic signature this year, so we don't actually have to have a physical signature. The title of their piece. Some students have titles, some don't. This is the specifics about the piece, whether it is a dance or a lyrical song or a music composition, a piano piece, a violin piece. Is it a watercolor on canvas? Is that sort of thing. That's where that stuff goes. Now this is really cool this year. The artist statement must be between 10 and 100 words. And this field here will not accept anything less than 10 or anything more than 100. You have your grade levels, you have your art categories. And then this is where you would add your file. If you have a dance file, you would add it here. Now we would request that parents name their file before they upload, rename it to the child's name and their grade, because it goes into a little file, a sub file in this Google Doc. And then we don't know whose is whose. If it's like, 1573.jpg, we're not going to know who that is. And Erin, I'm going to transfer to you now. And
can you either reshare your cell number or put it in the chat so people have that? We
you
have
bet.
people missing it, so thank you.
I know I'm going pretty fast. I'm really sorry.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna get my stuff up and going here, guys. Bear with me. Okay, come on, do your thing, move.
And we'll go into how you add your school info in just a minute.
Yeah, so this is gonna be your walkthrough on how you're gonna, so when we share, for those of you who have gotten your form and those of you who have not gotten your form yet, when you get them, they're probably going to say a template on them. Right now they are attached, they're shared with you, but they're also attached to Aaron Dowsley's drive or to whoever shared them with you. If it's South Antelope Valley, then it's shared to their Reflections drive. If it's North Antelope Valley, then it's either shared to Gary or Darlene's drive. So what we don't want to have happen is all the stuff that starts, entering, as students start entering, that we get those duplicates along with you. So we have to allow you to copy the form so that you can have your own access and we're not getting, our drives aren't filling up with all your student information. So for those who are familiar with Google, this is gonna be a lot easier for you. Those who are not, I'm going to walk through everything. Please know this is all going to go to you because it's a lot of information to take in right this second. I don't expect you to remember every little step, but we just want to show you step by step. And I more want to just talk it over real quick as we're going through so that when you go back and look at this, you kind of know, oh, okay, she said to do this first and then do this. So the first thing you need to do is locate your template, your Google form. If you get an email, you can click it right from the email. That's probably the easiest way. If you have to go into your drive, you're gonna have to locate off your drive. If you do not have a Google form yet, a Google account, if you don't have Gmail or a Google account, you're gonna need to set something up because you're gonna need access through Google Drive to do that. If you are setting up a new email, you could set one up under, your unit and Reflections. That way you could hand it off to the next Reflections chair when that time came. Or you can just use your own personal, set up your own personal, however you want to do it. I know a lot of units, when they set up new ones, they set it up under the position they are, because then you could just hand off to the next person and everything is still saved in that drive, and it just makes the next person's job a little bit easier. So you're going to locate the file. Like I said, if it was shared with you, it's usually going to be under the Share With Me tab. So you can see kind of what the drive would look like when you first get in it. There's New, there's My Drive. You're going to click that Share With Me, and it's going to take you to, sorry, hold on a second, guys. It's going to, back a second. When you click that Share With Me, you're going to find your file in that Shared With Me. And like I said, it's probably going to say your unit name. It might say template, and then it's going to say 2020-21 Reflections student entry form. It may not say template. That's okay. Don't worry about it. What we need to do here now is make the copy. That way it becomes your ownership and it's not shared with any of us on the councils. So you're going to click that More menu up at the top corner. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse here. 1 second. Whoops. No, that's not what I want. Go back. Okay, now I'm having technical difficulties. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I'm going back. Okay. So, oh, I went back too far. Look at that. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I need to go the other way. Sometimes, seriously. Okay. All right. So sorry. Okay. So there's that more button. It's the 3 little dots, as if you took any of the reflections training with Lisa Snow, as she calls it, the snowman. You're going to have a little pull down menu. It's going to say make a copy. You're going to click that make a copy. That will then take you to copy of your document. What you want to do here is you want to rename it so that it's your own property, well, for your own unit. And then you want to make sure it's saved where you can access it. So for me, it's saved in my drive, and then I actually have it saved in a separate folder, but you want it at least to be in my drive. So when you go back into your Google Drive, you can find it. Once you've renamed it and you have, made sure it's gonna save in your Google Drive, your Drive folder, you're gonna hit OK. That's gonna bring you to this little restore the files notice. You want to restore the files. What happens here is it takes all those folders that your artwork, your student's artwork is going to go into, and it's going to bring them to your Google Drive, platform. So you want to restore those files. That way everything dumps into those files. If you don't restore them, they're going to dump into our files, and we don't want that. More than likely, you might get a message that the person who's sharing with you, or even yourself, that storage is low. You might want to upgrade your Google storage. I believe it's $199 per month to upgrade to 100 gigabytes, and that should be plenty. It's even something you can ask for reimbursement for, but you might need that extra storage depending on the size of the files that you're collecting. So just bear that in mind. And you could always upgrade it later. You don't have to upgrade it right this second. So once you have copied it and you've restored those files, then it's going to give you your own Google form like Erin was showing you. This is just a blown up version of it. The next thing you want to do is share this. This is now your form for your unit that you're going to share out with your families so that their students can submit their entries. So you're going to hit the send button up in the top corner. When you do that, it's going to take you to this send form portion of the document. There's 3 options: send via email, send by link, or embed it. So my recommendation is to send it by link. It will allow, it's just easier to put it into an email and share it than to try and put all your emails into here and share it. Plus you can create your own message. If you're unsure what to tell people when you're sharing it, well, let me get to that in a second. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself. So hit that link button that's circled there. It's going to take you to your actual link. I always like to shorten the link. It's prettier. Otherwise, it's this really long thing, especially if for some reason somebody has to enter it by hand for whatever reason. It's nicer to have the shorter link. So you're going to shorten the link, and then you're going to copy it. And that will allow you to paste it into your own email that goes out to your families. So at this point, if you're struggling with what to say and you're not sure, how to present it to your families, let us know. We're happy to give you some verbiage. We're happy to give you like a sample letter that you guys can use. We're here to support you with that. So once you have sent it out to your families, now it's just a matter of waiting, for entries to come back. When you do email it out to families, make sure you give them the date that it's due back to your unit so that they know they have, the time that they have. Step 6 here, email notifications. This is so that as you start getting submissions in, it sends you an email notification that they're coming in, and you can go and you can check. So to do that, you want to first close that send form that we were in prior, and that's just hitting the X. It's going to take you back to your main form, and you're going to hit the response tab instead of questions, which is what your form would be under. You're going to hit response. It's going to pull up this green box right here, the more menu again. You're going to click that, and then you're going to check mark get email notifications for new responses, and those will all go into your email. But it's a handy tool. I like it because then I know to start looking for those entries or those forms coming in. when you start receiving student reflection entries, you can go to the response tab, which is next to the questions that are on your form. Anytime you need to go back to your form, you're going to go back into your drive to find it. And this is what the response part looks when you click on it. Right now there's one response because that was me testing the form out. So you can look at it as a summary. You can check at the particular questions, which really in this point isn't a need, but just as overall to Google, you can also check the individual responses. So what we want to do next is we want to create a spreadsheet. So you're going to click on the green little, cross here. It's actually Google Sheets. And you're going to create a new spreadsheet. It's going to already label it based on the label or the title of your Google form, and you're going to create it. And this is where you will see, this is where you'll receive all your responses in your that have been submitted. So again, there's only one. That was me just testing the waters, trying it out, and so I could show you guys as well. So that's what the response sheet looks like. This response sheet, Google Sheet will also go into the same area that you have the Google form and the folders. It'll all fall into the same area. So sometimes it's nice to set up like a reflections file, because then everything will dump into that. But it all goes to one spot. So I gotta find my mouse again. Here we go. Okay. So the last part you're going to do, before judging, once you close that deadline to get responses in, and you have all your student entries into your Google Sheet, the information that you would have added if you were using the paper form, which is that top form that you see on your screen, that's what our form used to look like. All that information, your local PTA that Erin was talking about, your PTA ID, which you can find in your bylaws. You can also contact us and we can help you with that. All the information is going to go into this Sheets form. So you're going to take just that top line of your Sheets form, which would be like your row 2. You're going to enter all the information that's requiring of it, starting with, I think it's starting with column AD, but I have that in the notes. I think it's AD. But anyways, you're going to scroll across and find that. Once you have, and I filled out a sample at the top there. I know it's hard to see, it's really tiny, but we'll go into the form too, hopefully, if we have time. Once you fill that out, you're going to copy and paste it for the rest of those cells. You only want to highlight the cells that you've just filled in, because if you highlight the entire row, you're going to erase all that student entry in. And just so you guys know, if you mess up on a Google Sheets, hit the back button. You can also hit Control X and it will put everything back in that you accidentally deleted. But what you want to do is just highlight the area that you just entered in. You can either cut and paste, or there's another really cool little feature. If you see this blue little box on your screen that I'm pointing at, you click on that, you drag it down the cells that you need to fill in. It's going to fill it all in for you. Gosh darn it, sorry. Right here where this green box is. And it just filled it in for every student, so that if we have to pull one student's entry, it's going to have all the information already there for it. Okay. Again, all this stuff will be sent to you guys so that you can do it on your own. If you have issues, if you have problems, let us know. We can jump in and help you. That's what we're here for. So once you have all your student entries and you've copied the information for your unit into your form, you're going to go to where your student reflection, your artwork is. So again, you're going to go back into your drive. You're going to look for a file. You're going to look for a file that says 2020-21 reflections. I think it says student. It's going to say pretty much the same thing that your form said. Let me find it real quick here. But you're going to look for that file. It's going to say student entry form. Yeah. You're going to open that file that's circled right there, which again will be in your drive. And this is where all of your entry, your student, what they have uploaded, the artwork they uploaded, if they uploaded their dance choreography, it's all going to be here in these files. these are what you're going to share with your judges. So what you're going to do with those is, if you're sending off your, I think I started with the dance choreography. If you're sending your dance choreography, you're going to do a right click on that file. Don't open it. You'll just look at a bunch of, different media. Right click it, and you're going to get a little menu that pulls down, and you're going to click share, and it's going to pull up another little menu or another little window for you that you can see down at the bottom of the screen. And you are going to copy the link. And why I'm telling you to copy the link instead of just share it with people at the top is because if your judge does not have a Gmail account or does not have Google, they're going to have one to access it. However, or they're going to have to ask you for permission to go in and open it. But if you share the link, they should have the ability to open it no matter what type of email they're using. So copy the link. It's just an easier way for them to open it. I've also been having issues with just sharing directly through Gmail. So the link is usually a better way to go sometimes. But you're going to do that for each of these files. For your film, you're going to share it. You're going to get the link for that film. You're going to email it to your film judge. For your literature, same thing down the line. And at the moment, that's as far as we've gone. We're still working on how to remit those first place winners to council and district, how to pull them out of your stack of students. So that will be coming soon. But this is at least the first part for you guys of how to transfer that form into your own ownership and get it out to students. So with that, give me 1 second here. Do we have, oh yeah, we're doing good on time. Erin, do you want to do like a walkthrough kind of thing?
Yeah, I want to show the CAPTA website real fast to show them where to find all of the rules for all of the different categories.
Okay.
Do you want to do that, or you want me to do it?
Go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing so I can do some. You go ahead and do that, and then I'll pull up what I need to pull up.
Sure.
After.
Okay, so here is the capta.org website, and you go to programs and events, and all the way down here it says Reflections Art Program. And here is all of the information that you will need as far as rules go and the leader's guide. You can see that we also do have a theme search. This is the theme. Every year the theme is different. Last year was, I can't, I'm drawing a blank of what last year was. This year is I Matter Because. And this topic, actually, there were hundreds of entries, and this one was picked out of all of those entries. And this is actually from a student in California, which is a huge honor. So here is the student entry packet and the guide for local leaders. And you can just click, and you can have it in English or Spanish. And it pulls it up here. Just continue. No, I don't want to do that. I don't know what I've done now. Let me go back. Nope, that's not it either. Well, I don't know what I've done. There it is. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Technologically challenged I am. So here is the leader guide, and this is where you will find that judging rubric. It also talks about all of the different ideas on promoting, coordinating. Now, keep in mind that this is pre-COVID, so a lot of this is not going to matter at this point because thanks COVID. Here is your volunteer sign up. You want to get some volunteers, although now that it's all going to be digital and virtual, you probably don't need as many. Although if you can find a computer whiz to do all this Google stuff, that would be awesome, because I am really not a Google person. But I will do my best to help you. Here are the instructions for the judges. There's 2 pages here that talks about the different ways that they judge. 40 points for interpretation of theme, 30 points for creativity, and 30 points for technique. And then they have this kind of scorecard for the judges. to kind of keep everything documented, and it's just really super helpful. And whether they're doing that digitally or with actual art in their hands, this is helpful. And I also wanted to show you, let's see here. I put together this, and I don't know how to make it here. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Perfect, okay. This has, and I can send this to everybody. This has my contact information. It also has some ideas on where we get trophies at the council and district level. I like to use Wilkinson trophies. They're very, very reasonably priced. But we also have a place on Bouquet in Santa Clarita that is behind where old Telly's used to be. And I know that there's several trophy places up in the Antelope Valley as well. Here's some ideas on judges, dance studio teachers. I know that in the past I have had the Antelope Valley Junior Ballet judge my dance pieces, which was absolutely a riot, and they were so thorough and so technical. It was fantastic. But you can get art students from the local colleges. You can get film teachers from the colleges or from the high schools. I know that some have electives for that. English teachers or professors, or maybe you know an author. I have a couple of friends who are authors. And then professional photographers or someone who has a photography background. There's also these two links, one for the California State PTA Reflections and the National PTA Reflections. And I'll email this out to everybody as well. Okay, Erin, do you want to show them, you want to send them the form?
Yeah, we can do that.
And they can test drive the form?
Yep. And then if they have questions while they're, so I'm going to put it in the chat. This is what the form will look like to your students and your parents if you click on it, and how they're going to fill it out. So if you want to go ahead and fill it out, you can't go beyond a certain point without adding all the information. Put whatever information in you want. It can be, serious, it can be silly. When you do get to the artwork submission though, upload a photo or something that's really simple. You can pick something off of whatever, just something that's quick and easy to just upload in there so that you can see how it all works. And then after you guys do that, I can show you where it all went into and then what the file of the artwork looks like.
And if you have trouble, drop it in chat so we can help.
Yeah.
I know for me doing this, I use Google Chrome, but then when I click on this forms link, it automatically, for some reason, opens up Firefox. And I don't know why. And it took me, I don't know, a whole day to figure out that I had 17 tabs in Firefox open, all with the Google form. Because I'm like, it's not opening. You can just put your last name or anybody's last name, Claudia. It should be either the room number or your teacher's name. And I do know that some high schools don't have that, but maybe you could put your homeroom teacher's name. That would be helpful.
Yeah. Alyssa, so to answer your question, when you upload your file, it is automatically going to save as your student name. It's set up in Google to do that. So because you entered your student name into the form, it will save the file with the student's name attached to it, which is why we didn't ask for that information. If that helps.
Yes, Alyssa.
Go ahead and ask your question if that's easier.
Okay, so earlier I took notes that it said that we were supposed to name files with the children's name.
Yeah, that was before, that was before this afternoon when I realized it automatically does that for us. That was like a very last minute, like, yeah, all of a sudden I tried it and I went, oh, look, my name's attached to it. So yeah, that's why I kind of changed it really quick. And if we at least have the title of the art, then we know, oh, that's, you know, so-and-so's art titled. We're still working out that kink, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be easiest to just have them all do the child's name and their grade, because we're going to need at your level, at unit level and at council and district, we're going to need to pull the primary, intermediate, middle school for the judges. We can't accidentally have a primary in with a middle school for our judge, and we're going to need something that's going to distinguish that, especially at a unit that has, you know, 100 entries for visual art, and there are units that do. That's asking a lot of our unit leaders. So I think it's just it's easier just to have parents do their names and that grade.
And I'm gonna fix that, but yeah, it does put the name in there, but we definitely need a grade.
We want to make this as easy as possible for you guys, because this is new and strange for a lot of us. I know, at least in Santa Clarita, we have a lot of unit leaders that are not super techie. I am one of them. And we want to make this as easy as possible so you guys just don't throw up your hands and go, you know what, we're out this year. We're not going to do this. This is too hard.
Nope.
We want to make sure that these kids have at least a little bright spot in this whole distance learning, Google Classroom, garbage that they're having to deal with. It's frustrating and it's difficult, especially for the parents who have to work on top of all this. We want to just give them a fun, creative outlet for thinking about something other than what's going on in the world.
So to answer the question of where is the link located in the chat, the link is going to be sent to our reflections chairs, and if we don't have contact for a reflections chair, it's going to go to the president. Sorry. So if you haven't received it yet, you're going to. That's part of the reason why I went through the whole change ownership, because that file that you're going to get is not going to automatically be your, you know, you have to change the ownership so that it all lands in your drive and not in our drive. But that will be coming to you really, really shortly if you haven't gotten it yet. Sixth grade will be judged in the middle school division. It's 6th through 8th, I believe. Yeah, it's just the way it's set up on the way National PTA sets it up.
Yeah, Shannon.
I'll unmute you, Shannon. Or there you go.
Hi, thank you. I just have a couple logistics questions because I've never done this before. So how many judges do you feel need to be, we need to have? Is it 2 or 3 in each category? Is it 2 or 3 total? What would you prefer?
I think that it's maybe 2 for literature, visual art, and photography. Typically, there aren't a ton of dance and music composition. Dance, music, and film. Typically, units don't have too many, so one judge could handle it all. But 2 judges, 2 sets of eyes on a lot of visual art is helpful.
Erin,
Okay.
Oh, you got that, Shannon? You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There's another question, Erin, in the chat about judges. I thought I'd let you handle that.
I don't quite understand. You mean like at their house alone, or do you need to be there for that? Or
We
can you,
we can unmute her and
Yeah.
ask her to unmute if she wants to ask her question.
can we do that?
Uh-huh.
Hi,
Thank you.
sorry.
That's
So,
okay.
sixth grade is in elementary for us. So do we judge them just only with sixth grade?
Yeah,
for-
yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And a lot of our schools here also just have, sixth grade is also in elementary, so we have the same thing. We just judge them alone.
How's everyone coming? Everyone getting there? Let me check and see where we're at as far as. Oh, good. We have responses in.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second here. Okay, so if this was my form, right now I have 6 responses that have come in, and I know it takes a little bit, but this shows you kind of who's filled it out so far based on the emails. What I want to do is I want to go to my sheets, and I've already created it, so it's going to let me just go there. And this is all our entries. So this would be each student entering theirs in. Can you, hopefully you guys can see that because my computer is a little slow right here. So, you know, gives them the email, the parents. The reason why I asked for email twice, just in case you guys are curious, that first email is so that it sends you a response. That's all it's set up for. And then we want to make sure just that, you know, we have your email address correct. So sometimes some people put in twice, some didn't. No big deal. That's all good. Student first name, student last name, the grade, that's all perfect. The age, it's great. Classroom, looking good. Just in case people have, I don't want to share too much of your information. I'm going to scroll over just so I'm not sharing a bunch of like phone numbers and stuff. Artist statement, awesome. You know, the division they're in. So this is good. It's showing, you know, all our entries. And then, like I said, this gives you an actual link to the artwork if you were to go straight to it. Oh, cool, look at that. Or we're gonna go into the folder and you're gonna see that. I just wanna, so you can see, give me 1 second. Oops, wrong thing. So I can see, okay. Oh, and the visual arts. It's just so you guys can see the columns easier. So like I said, with entering the information, you know, I entered all the information for our unit for the first line. And then what I want to do, I'm gonna see if I can do this in a smaller okay. Just so you can kind of see a little better. This is all the information that I entered. And then I'm going to simply bring this down. I'm gonna hold my mouse and bring it down, and it's going to copy it all into those cells for me. And what it didn't do is that it didn't mess up any of this stuff. If I had just gone over here and brought it all down, it would have copied everything on the top line. So I was only copying those cells. Again, it'll all be in the presentation for you guys. You can also do, instead, you can also do, you know, copy. You can go up and you can do edit, copy, and then you can paste it all in. Either way, I like the shortcuts personally, but whatever works for you, whatever you know, there's that. What I want to go into now, hopefully it's going to let you guys see this. Can you, Erin, can you see what I'm doing right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Oh, here's where all those entries that you guys are doing right now, this is where they're all going, is into this file that says the reflections, like I showed on the slides. This is my form right here. This is the sheets that it's dump, you know, that all the entries are going into, and then this is where all the artwork is. So for all those that sent in a photography, there they all are. If you one person sent in a visual, there it is. So it's all, I'm gonna find my little menu here. It's all, you know, right in the same area. And then this is what you're going to share with your judges, just like I showed. You get the link, and that whole file is going to be shared with them so that they have access to that file and they can open it up and they can look at all the artwork. So if there's nothing in dance, but anyways. So that's kind of how that all works. Don't worry about not knowing it right now. It'll become easier the more you use it, and now you're seeing my entire Google Drive. Hey, how about that? All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and just see how people, okay, 7 responses, good. You know, if you don't want to keep, you don't have to fill out the rest of it. It just, we wanted you guys to see what our parents are going to see, what our students are going to see as they're filling this stuff out. You get an idea of, you know, if you have questions, they're probably going to have questions. So at least you see now, and you know, if they do, what the different areas are for. But what's nice about it is, you know, if they were to upload, like when they go to upload their artwork, it takes them directly to the area that they need to upload, which is one of the coolest parts about it. So anything else you want to touch on, Erin?
Oh, there's one question from Hillzip that I wanted to comment on, that this form that we're doing right this minute is just a little sample for all of us to get an idea of what our families are going to have to fill out. You will receive the form. I don't know what council you're in, but your council reflections chair or PTA president will send you that form and walk you through how to transfer it over so that it's for your school specifically.
Yeah.
But this form was just to practice, just so we can kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like for our families.
Yeah, I know South Antelope Valley sent it out to most of their units. If they didn't, contact your South Antelope Valley reflections chair or your president. North Antelope Valley, Gary just let me know that it was in the group meet that he uses for presidents and other officers. So the link is in there for their forms. And if you have any questions, you can ask your council leaders. And then we're always here to assist you. If you have any further questions or you're just totally confused, I'm happy, Erin and I are happy to jump on a Zoom with you real quick and walk you through different things, answer any questions you have. We're just a phone call and email away, so don't hesitate. We want to make sure this is smooth for you guys so it's smooth for everyone else.
Yeah, and even though Santa Clarita does not have a reflections chair, I'm stepping into that role to help everybody get this handled and make it as smooth as possible for all of our families. Like I said before, it's just something that's really important for these kids right now. And I love that little kitty.
I know.
We got a new puppy, and Aaron H also got 2 new puppies recently, but my puppy's not home. He went for a walk. He doesn't even look real though, so everybody says that can't be a real puppy.
It looks like a toy.
So anyways, we will be sending this video to everybody who is on our participation list, and feel free to refer back to it. You also can reach out to me or Erin Hester with anything that you need help-wise in regards to transferring the file over to your own hard drive, setting up a or a Gmail email account, anything that you need. We'll be happy to help assist you to make this as smooth as possible.
Yep.
Okay, we're good?
I think we're good. I'm going to put my email in just in case you need it. For whatever reason, although you can find it on our website too.
And Stacy, yes, they're going to be linked back to their home school, even if they are at a different school because of virtual versus hybrid.
Yeah.
I'll
So
put
when,
mine in again.
yeah,
I don't know how to spell.
thank you everyone for joining tonight, for being here.
Yes, thank you guys so much for taking
Yeah.
time out to do this.
Yeah, we appreciate that you're willing to learn it. Bye, Heather. I see you waving.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a great night.